Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Apollo Justice's Ace Attorney Trilogy. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game. So anyways, let's continue up here. And once we finish up this game, we will actually start Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations, because I want to finish this game before we head over to the next Ace Attorney game. And we're also going to be doing Metal Gear Solid this month, by the way. So last time we played this, as Apollo was getting chased by the Queen's guards, Karain, Bazaar. Bazaar is basically a marketplace. Those guys sure are persistent. Yeah, they even wore me out, and that doesn't happen often. Why are they after us anyway? Apollo, it's the Royal Guards again. Quick, hide. Hey, where'd Hornhead and Spidey Hair go? So the Queen is trying to get that orb back from him. Spidey Hair, they're not talking about me, are they? Is that a trick question? We know you're hiding somewhere around here. Apollo, that weird-looking bird over there. Did it just... Yeah, it did. It's called a warp, and... You know what? I'll tell you all about it later. When we're not being chased by masked men. Come out, wherever you are! Hand over the Founder's Orb if you know what's good for you! It figures they're after the orb. I don't want to know what they do to us if we were captured. If they grill us in those obnoxious loud voices, I'd cave after the first hour and confess to whatever they wanted, truth or no. Come out now, you foreign devils! This has gone on far enough. You must not keep Her Eminence waiting any longer. The bird's getting pissed. We've got to get out of here. There must be a safe place to hide somewhere. Okay, wait, the manhole? Look, a manhole. That's right. Say, son, do you remember my office? Sure. I remember that messy, dimly lit room. The file of Amasan Amara's assassination is kept there. I think it might help you on this case. Do you remember how to get there? Athena, I know where we can hide. Follow me. Oh? Where are we going? Wait, you're not seriously thinking about going down there. It smells like rotten eggs. And are those rats I hear? We've got no choice. I can get us somewhere safe, but this is the only way in. Quick, before it's too late. It's gonna take forever to get this stench out of my hair. May 18, former, Sad Maddie law office. Looks like we lost him. That was close. Dirk's office. How long has it been since I last set foot in here? At least we're safe now, but... Why is Athena all huddled over in the corner like that? That's... AJ, what the heck are you doing here? Garan's Royal Guards are after us. Once a rebel, always a rebel. Don't worry, the regime doesn't know about this place, so you can relax now. Good, but since when I am part of the rebellion, I don't recall signing up. Apollo! Oh, Phoenix is here? Mr. Wright, what are you doing here? We saw you two go into that manhole. You narrowly escaped the guard's notice. Oh, I can't imagine Edgeworth going through the sewers in that outfit. It was like watching a pair of ostriches burying their heads in the sand. I guess that was a closer shave than I had thought. Anyway, you're safe and sound now, and that's what really counts. Oh, I also have some evidence for you. Thanks, Mr. Wright. Case evidence received from the boss. So what is this dubious, hovel, we found ourselves in anyway? It's the Defiant Dragon safe house, also known as the former Sad Maddie law offices. I see. Well, though it might just be happenstance, Here I am, a chief prosecutor, hiding out in a rebel base. Please don't report this place to the local police, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Might as well take a look around while we're waiting for the heat to die down out there. Come on, Athena, stop moping over there and help me check this place out. Please tell me there's a shower here. There's a sink in the kitchen. And if you're lucky, maybe even some soap. I'm sorry I even asked. Oh, sad Matty Law Offices. So, Dads, you guys are still using this office, I see. Yep. Except now it's the official HQ of the Defiant Dragons. But as Dirk said, and I quote, "We must keep it for the day when Karain needs lawyers once more." Restoring the legal system to its rightful form through popular uprising. You can tell how much Dirk believes in his cause. Oh, and AJ, Dirk said something else that might interest you. He said he hopes you'll come back and take over this office someday. To take over me? Those were his words. He may have been half joking, though. Dirk, guess what I heard from PW? That's Phoenix Wright. AJ should become a lawyer. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. Must have been because of you, Dirk. I'm not so sure about that. I imagine he's already forgotten about me. What are you talking about? I bet he can't wait to follow in your footsteps. Ha ha ha. Nothing would make me happier. Maybe one day he'll return to Karain and take over this office. And about Dats, what I'll say about Dats is that I think that Dats is actually Karain's American. So I think he's from America, but his ancestry is American. The reason I think so is because in his other description, it actually says that he was a former paratrooper in a foreign army. He was probably an American paratrooper, and and Dats uses like a lot of American slang. So I guess that would kind of explain it, why he uses a lot of American slang. But that's what I always thought, is that Dats is from America, but he returned to Karain to fight for his parents' homeland. Maybe one day he'll return to Karain and take over this office. It's just a pipe dream, though. Dirk really said that. Dirk was never a hands-on kind of dad. But not a day went by that he wasn't thinking of you. That much I'm sure of. Doesn't get more paternal than that, Dirk. And to think I really did spend my days trying to forget you. I'm looking forward to a nice, long talk once you're free. This is Dirk's old law book. Look, there's a mark on the cover. It looks like it was branded on with a hot iron. Yeah, I think it was done in protest against the Defense Culpability Act. There's an entry in the DC Act right here, see? In the name of her eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Oh, so this is the infamous anti-lawyer, law you guys are always talking about. A document establishing the Defense Culpability Act in the name of the Queen. What's this? I wonder what's in this file. Oh, it's full of newspaper clippings. The arson incident involving Amara's private residence. Amara was slipped a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. The lighter found at the scene had Dirk's fingerprints on it. It seems to be a collection of documents and information on Amara's assassination. So this is what Dirk was talking about. We already know most of the stuff here on the top. Let's see what else there is. Wow, where did he get all this? Anything important here? Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. He was struck in the head by the culprit. The victim's passport and any pictures of him were burned up in the fire. Without knowing his real name, no divination seance could be performed. Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. What? This is about your father, Apollo. Looks like it. But I was never told much more than what's written here. Really? How come? Dirk always skated around the subject. Maybe he thought I was still too young. Plus, I always thought of Dirk as my dad, so I never really brought it up. Oh, I see. Still, I feel kind of sorry for your real dad. My real dad. I was never really interested in learning about him. But after seeing his picture, I can't help but feel a little curious. I wonder if Dats could tell me anything about him. So apparently he died somehow in this, and Dats felt Dirk felt responsible, and so he adopted Apollo. Apollo, this file looks like it might be useful, but there are so many pages, I can't tell what's important. We need someone to help organize all of this, and I think I know just the person to ask. Well, it's dirty in here. I'm surprised to see so many appliances here. There's even a TV. Speaking of which, we gave the people of Karain quite a shock. When the Plume Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, was last on TV. You mean that show where actors play the parts of Dirk and Rafa? You hijacked it in the middle of its broadcast, right? Yep. All their writers do each week is try to ruin the Defiant Dragon's good name. So we decided to hit him where it hurts. Arrgh. That must have been real shocking, especially for the kids who waited all week to see it. I mean, the show's main villain was actually hijacking the very show he's in. What's this stuff? Who's the kid? Wait a second, that's you, Apollo. I'd recognize those horns anywhere. Is that really the only way anybody recognizes me? Hehehe, you were so cute. And who's that fine-looking young man? That's Nayuta, back when he used to smile. Wow, his smile is absolutely angelic. Sure brings back memories that was taken the day we all went out fishing. What was Prosecutor Sadbody like when he was younger? He was kind of quiet, but passionate when it came to his convictions. When he finally made prosecutor, he was all fired up to change Karain for the better. But now he's nothing more than Garan's lackey. Seems like Dats has a lot to say about Nayuta. I'll ask him about his thoughts later. Dats, what's with the altar? It's where we pay our respects to the victims of the Defense Culpability Act. The DC Act is a heinous law that puts innocent people to death. A law that's supposed to protect the people sends them to their graves instead. Talk about insane. There's a scary-looking knife sticking out of the Queen's picture. If anyone saw this, they'd think the Defiant Dragons were a violent group. Oh, that was actually me trying to kill a fly. I threw that knife at it, but I whiffed, and the thing ended up stuck right between her eyes. You mean this wasn't on purpose? Ew, is that a newt? Come on, Athena. Can't you tell a gecko when you see one? What's the difference? Geckos like to live in houses, while newts prefer to be outside near water. They're totally different creatures. Well, how do you know this one wasn't caught outside near some water? It could very well be a gecko. No, I'm pretty sure it's a newt. Oh. So then you agree it's a newt, Apollo. Ah, I fell right into her trap. You're both wrong. It's just a plain old lizard. Here we got Dirk's robe. Dirk's jacket. You should try it on, Apollo. It might actually suit you. Really? There's also a spare eye patch here. Why not try that on too? Speaking of which, I wonder how Dirk even lost his eye in the first place. I never thought about that. Hehehe. Sorry. Just picturing you and all that. Ha ha ha. It's just too funny. Ow. My pride. Sadmani law offices. That's the sign Dirk used to display out front. Hey, Dats. I heard the office used to do quite a bit of business. That it did. Dirk was a famous lawyer of countless courtroom victories, after all. He was a dauntless dragon who turned trials upside down, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. His fame as a lawyer spread far and wide across Karain back in the day. I hope that day comes when he can proudly display the sign again. Wait. Don't tell me we have to go back through the manhole to get out of here. The only reason the safe house is still safe is because the front door's been boarded up. Fine, then I'll just have to live here till the revolution begins. What if I told you rats come out at night? Then we'll just have to start the revolution before sundown. Bet the revolution never thought it'd get a new ally this way. Okay, present. That's about this file. Can you help me figure out which pages are the most relevant? Yep, sure can. Got the whole thing memorized. See this page? It's definitely worth a look. As the son of the terrorist Dirk, Nayuta was expelled from the royal family. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Kuranese people. Oh, that's right, Prosecutor Sadmani's part of the royal family, wasn't he? Yep, but he was expelled after that whole thing with Dirk happened. He must have gone through hell once he entered the legal world, though. Because of the whole the sins of the father are visited upon his children thing. Yep, in the eyes of the people, Dirk is not only a traitor to his kingdom, he's also a terrorist who assassinated the previous queen. So as his son, Yuri had, no doubt got the cold shoulder at every turn. That must have been really hard on him. Yeah, the ties between father and son aren't something you could break, even if you tried. No matter where he went, he was probably labeled the son of a criminal. But despite it all, he made a name for himself through blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, just look at him now. He's a star prosecutor working cases around the globe. He's become a hero, the pride and joy of Karain. Now, that's the Nayuta I know. Super smart, never willing to give in. He must have studied and fought like his life depended on it to get where he is today. Oh. Amara's assassination file updated in the court record. Nayuta. Wasn't Nayuta once part of the Defiant Dragons? Yep, Yuri was a rising star in the Resistance. He vowed to fight for the cause through the legal system. Said he'd become a prosecutor and give Inga and Garen the smackdown they deserved. But now he's... yeah, a puppet of the Garan regime. Not only that, but now he's gonna prosecute his own dad. It doesn't add up. I wonder what happened to him. Me too. But if I had to guess, I'd say Garan has some serious leverage over him. Leverage? Like what? Wish I knew. But it seems like Dirk knows. I tried to press him about it, but he wouldn't say. Come to think of it, Dirk did say... Nayuta is suffering. Yes, he knows the rightful state of Karain's legal system. But something forces him to bend over to the Garan's will, and it's tearing him apart. What is that, I wonder? What leverage could they have over him if he doesn't, if he's trying to prosecute his father? You know, what else could it be? I bet Nayuta doesn't really want to go through with Dirk's prosecution. Look around the Dirk safe house. The mark of the dragon. That's the symbol of our group, the Defiant Dragons. Dirk has the same mark tattooed on the palm of his hand, right? Yep, and I've got one too. Really? Where? On my heart. Oh, you mean metaphorically. Like you're ready to die any time for the cause or something like that. You got that right. Dead or alive, I'll always be a Defiant Dragon. Ah, what? What? Do you know something about this? Nope, just felt like shouting is all. He had me going there for a second. Dats, I wanted to ask you about this picture. That's a picture of your pops that Dirk found. And he had a heck of a time tracking it down. He said he searched all over for it. Why? Why would he go through all that trouble? Dats, please tell us everything you know about Apollo's dad. My father. Do you know what my biological father was like? Dirk once told me about him. He was a modern minstrel, walking the world making music in his travels. This file also has some information on your real dad. It says he died in the blaze at Queen Amara's residence 23 years ago. Oh, so he was there. That's right. Dirk had invited him over. Dirk's the kind of guy who can become fast friends with just about anyone. And it seems your pops was like that too, AJ. They hit it off at a bar. And the next thing you know, Dirk's asked him over to play some tunes. And then the place went up in flames. Yeah, Dirk had just stepped out for a sec when the fire broke out. Apollo, you were there too, but you were still just a baby. I remember hearing about that when I was little. Yeah, it was a crying shame. Your pops just happened to take you along that day. So you were there with him when the fire broke out. But Dirk risked his life to save you. It's like Dirk's done nothing but save me all my life. All your pop's stuff got burnt up, including anything that could have helped us identify him. All we know about him at first was his stage name, Jangly Justice or something like that. Dirk did everything he could just to dig up what little we know now. What about my mother? Do you know anything about her? All we know is she was traveling with your pops. But that day, she was off doing something on her own. So then, she probably didn't even know my father had been with Dirk, huh? But she must have been desperate to find you and your father once you'd gone missing. No doubt, but the Queen's assassination threw the kingdom into chaos. The police were so overwhelmed, they were probably hardly of any help to her. We searched and searched till our legs gave out too, but we never found her. And with your father's stuff all burnt up, we had zero leads, not even a photo. So that's how I became an orphan. Yeah, who knows? Maybe your mom read about the details of the fire in the newspaper. And maybe she'd figure you died along with your pops. Wow, I had no idea you'd been through all that, Apollo. So then you believe me. You believe in my son's innocence. What? Your poor son, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. Let's petition the government for his release and a declaration of innocence. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm forever in your debt. Who's that? Hey there, Miss Inme. Hard at work, I see. Yes, I have my own battle that I must wage. After all, there are many who suffer in the Defense Culpability Act. Miss Inme, please don't forget about our case, too. I won't. I will look into it as soon as I am able. Dats, what's Miss Inme doing here? She's lending an ear to all those suffering under the regime's wrongful accusations. A lady whose husband had been imprisoned. Parents whose son's been falsely charged. You know, I was thinking about something. You guys told me that there's going to be, like, a giant twist in this case. Like, it's, like, the biggest twist, apparently, in the game that I'm not going to see coming. Like, people keep telling me that there's some giant twist coming up. But, I was thinking, what if Apollo's dad had something to do with, the Queen's death? You know, wouldn't that really be a massive twist? That his own father had something possibly to do with it? Maybe Dirk killed him? And Dirk kind of felt guilty at the same time, too. Maybe there's that possibility. He decided to raise Apollo. Maybe that's the reason he was searching for stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see coming up with this. But I wonder what this twist is. And I wonder what this leverage is that that the government has over Nayuta. She's helping all those types of people. So she's trying to help the revolution along. In her own special way. Yep. And thanks to her, more and more folks are coming over to our side. All the people who've been unhappy with the regime have been waiting for just this chance. And they're starting to speak out in support of us. The people are responding, and a grassroots movement is growing. Dirk's dream of revolution may finally come true. What should we do about the Founder's Orb? We'll probably run into the Royal Guards again the moment we leave this place. Well, we can't stay here forever, so we'll have to think of something. I've got it. Why don't you hold on to it, Dats? It should be safe here, right? You can count on me. I'll get it back to you in time for tomorrow's trial at the Hall of Justice. I don't know how he'll do that. Founder's Orb left with Dats. What now, Apollo? Well, we've got a handle on what's happening 23 years ago. Maybe we should pay Dirk a visit. There's something I want to show him. I'll join you. I want to talk to him before tomorrow's trial. Well, the second we step outside, we're getting arrested. Maybe I should wait here, then. We'll attract undue attention if we, go, two in a larger group. That's true. Okay. Move, detention center. Hey there, son. Came to see your old man again. Hi, Dirk. Guess they're done questioning you. Yeah. You'd think that Yuta might have cut his old man a little slack, but no. He really laid into me. Seems they're really keen on recovering the Founder's Orb. When I wouldn't tell them where it was, he confiscated what few possessions I had left. Wait, Dirk's not wearing his attorney's badge. They even took that from him? Nayuta. He confiscated all of my prized jailbreaking tools. What did you expect? I mean, no prosecutor in their right mind would let a prisoner keep stuff like that. Did he take your attorney's badge too? No. I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. I wonder why. Indeed. I find it hard to understand anything he does these days. Your attorney's badge. Your Karain-E's attorney's badge. You've worn it all these years, even though all lawyers are gone. Yes, because the dragon's eye is the embodiment of my creed. To show the world that a dragon never yields, huh? Hey, Dirk. Why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream. Not until my very last breath. Dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nayuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Karain's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. He was always saying stuff like that to the two of us. Nayuta, is the reason why you didn't take Dirk's badge because you still remember those talks, too. I really hope that's what it is. Son, would you keep my badge for me? Are you sure? I can't take something so important to you. That's exactly why I want you to hold on to it, Apollo. I'm placing my fate in your hands. Alright, I'll make sure it stays safe. The symbol of Dirk's creed, a dragon never yields, Nayuta never confiscated it. Oh, and show Dirk the pink butterfly, right. I think that the pink butterfly belongs to Nayuta, that's what I think. Because I remember he has, like, the pink butterfly badge, or, you know, what is it, a necklace? Pendant. Yeah, it's probably Nayuta's, because he always has that pink butterfly that sits on his hand. I found this in the tomb. Look familiar. Ah, that's... Dirk? Where did you find it? Down between the monk statues in the tomb. Is it yours, Dirk? Oh, it's something I bought. Why is he suddenly acting all awkward? I wonder when I lost it. Let's have it, it's very important to me. Of course. Let's make a note about it for the future reference. Pink butterfly pendant returned to Dirk, but a record of it remains in the court record. So yeah, that is probably Nayuta's. That's probably why he doesn't want to admit to it, because it's his son's. Apollo, remember how Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk? Why don't you ask about that? Oh, right. I'll give it a try. Someone dear to Dirk. What did the minister mean when he said he had someone dear to you in the palm of his hand? Who was he talking about? Nayuta seemed to know, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Well, I have no idea, so... Well, you obediently follow his every word after he said that. Though it seems to me the minister was in close proximity to someone you really care about. Oh, someone you really care about that isn't Nayuta. Wait, don't tell me. Is there a new lady in your life, Dirk? Well, what? No, don't be ridiculous, son. The love of my life was Amara, but she's gone now, and there will never be another. Oh. He's lying. My bracelet. Wait, does this mean... Dirk, have you really not met somebody new? Someone dear to Dirk. You know, I'm really curious if this is Nana, because remember Nana went missing too? possibly his bottom hand. Did the hand move?
Gotcha!
Dirk, you seemed tense when you said that Amara was gone now. To the point where your arm was moving around. What are you talking about? You're hiding something up your sleeve, aren't you? Huh? What's with all these wild allegations? I'm not hiding a thing. My arm had an itch, that's all. Itchy arm, my butt. I'll just have to take an extra close look at his nervous habit. And confront him with something he can't explain his way out of.
Gotcha!
You seem uneasy, Dirk. Wait, don't tell me you're ashamed because she's much younger than you. Don't be ridiculous. I'm just getting tense because of your intrusive questions. Anyone would react the same way. I guess that's not it. Still, my bracelet reacted. So I know he must be hiding something. So we're looking for a specific, like, action, like when he gets nervous or, you know, something. There's something else. I'm gonna look for some weird, odd movements somewhere else.
Gotcha! Gotcha!
He does move his hand a lot. Damn. Wait, what's that?
Gotcha!
What was that? Dirk, you can't fool me. You tensed up when you said, but she's gone now. And you unconsciously moved your arm, causing something to press up against your jacket. Ah. How did you do that? Oh, so that's it. You're hiding a woman's photo up your sleeve. You don't have to keep secrets like this from me, Dirk. You're an eligible bachelor now, but you'll introduce her to me at some point, right? I keep telling you there's no other woman. Fine, then let's see it. What are you hiding up your sleeve? It's just this. Satisfied? Huh? But that's the pendant we found in Amara's tomb. See, I wasn't trying to hide anything. Then why did he tense up? Dirk, let me take a look at that. Ah. Hey, what's this button for? Whoa. It's... Wait, that woman there. That woman, I've seen her before. Yes, it's her here too. It's a picture of Dirk and some lady. She's really young looking too. Mon Dieu, are you into younger women, Dirk? Dirk, you old dog, you've got yourself a younger lover. Will you stop with this nonsense? This is Amara before she died. If you look closer, you'll see that I was younger too. Hey, you're right. Ah, that's no fun. Wait a second. Haven't we seen this woman before? We have. Now that you mention it, isn't this the woman, Isn't this woman the same as the one in the pendants photo? Yes, this woman too. Picture from Inga's safe shows a woman, a baby, and a law book that has a mark branded on it. The one in the pendant is also the one in this photo. Apollo, where did you get this? From the safe in Inga's room. Apollo, if this is Queen Amara, it had to have been taken at least 23 years ago. But that's just not possible. Yeah, I just noticed the same thing. Here's why this photo couldn't be 23 years ago. Because this is Rafa right here.
Take that!
I don't see how that proves anything. Well, there's also the Defiant Dragons one. There's a Defiant Dragon symbol. That means there's that. This book.
Take that!
Take a look at the law book. It has the mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. But that mark didn't exist until after you started your revolutionary activities, Dirk. So this photo must have been taken after Garan came into power. And that didn't happen until after Amara was assassinated. So then, how could Amara even be in this photo? Wait a second. That would mean that Amara is still alive? Arr! Looks like you found me out, son. Wait, so it's actually true? She's actually alive. Dirk, what do you mean Amara's still alive? What? Is this the twist that you guys are telling me about? I thought she'd been assassinated. So did I, but it seems she made it out alive, only to be held captive by the Garan regime. Why would they do that? When I fled from the law and went underground 23 years ago, I heard some shocking news from a Defiant Dragon spy. There were rumors of Queen Amara being sighted in the palace, and those rumors turned out to be true. Yes, I snuck into the palace to see for myself. She was confined within the grounds, but otherwise she was fit as a fiddle. So then, the sarcophagus in the tomb, it's empty? Yes, that entire tomb is one big charade. Garan had it built to stage Amara's death. So we're not going to be cursed by her vengeful spirit. That's a relief. She was being held under virtual house arrest. So I freed her and we made a run for it. This photo was taken back then. Look at how they're both grinning from ear to ear. There's a finger print on the metal part. I guess Dirk must have left it by accident. Oh, Mr. Sadmany, I want to hear all about how you ran away with Queen Amara. It seems to belong to Dirk. A fingerprint was found on the inside of the lid, stained with the victim's blood. On the run with Amara. I'm surprised Amara agreed to run away with you. I mean, Garan must have told her that you tried to kill her. I tried to convince her that I wasn't the one who set up the blaze. And she believed you? She said, and I quote, "I shall accompany you, so I may ascertain the truth myself." She always was a tough one to read. That's actually very similar to Rafa. I bet she was thrilled you came to her rescue, Mr. Sadmady. To be set free by your beloved. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Yeah, well, there was no happily ever after once Garan's people caught up with us. They took Amara away to who knows where. I snuck back into the palace and searched high and low for her, but to no avail. They probably moved her to some remote mountain prison or alike. Dirk, does Nayuta know about this? He knows she's his true mother. I told him as much. Wait, is that why Nayuta is following Garan's orders? Most likely. So then do you think that deep down, he doesn't really want to prosecute you? Well, he's not one to show his feelings. And lately I've had no idea what he's thinking. Apollo, we need to grill the queen about Amara when we have the chance. I was wondering about something. That's not a good idea to tell that to the queen. The little baby the lady's holding. Is that Prosecutor Sadmady? Not necessarily. It could just as well be me. After all, we're only 1 year apart. I don't know. I mean, the kid in the picture is too cute to be you. Let's settle this by asking Dirk himself. Present the photo. Dirk, about the cute little kid in this photo. Is that me? Huh? What are you talking about? See, I told you it was Prosecutor Sadmady. Oh, I see. Well, either way, it's not you, son. So then, if it's Nayuta, it was taken when he was about 1 year old, right? And that would mean you ran away with Amara around 22 or 23 years ago? You're pretty good with numbers, son. Impressive. Huh. What kind of answer is that? A photo showing Dirk and Amara's life on the run about 23 years ago. Before you go, son, there is something else I need to tell you. Something important. What is it, Dirk? I've never seen you act so serious before. Something important. So what's just something important you have, to tell me? Listen, son, even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow. I don't have long to live. Huh? Well, what are you talking about? What I mean is I can already hear the Twilight Realm calling my name. There's no escaping death now that it has set its sights on me. What? Is this another one of your jokes? I wish it was. Ha 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 ha. You can't fool me, Dirk. That's a strange. Why is it, my bracelet reacting? Are you sick? It's something like that. So you're not joking. I'm afraid not, son. Sorry. Isn't there a cure? Or at least some sort of treatment? Unfortunately not. Not for what I've got. If you need some kind of surgery, I'll work hard until I can pay for it. So, please. It's too late. There's nothing more to be done now. But you always say a dragon never yields, so why are you giving up now? Apollo, I'm sorry. I really am. I don't understand. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why? Listen, Apollo. I've got a favor to ask of you. Would you keep quiet about this? I don't want my fellow dragons to find out. They'd lose all hope if they knew I was dying. Would you do that for me? Of course. Why is this happening now? What does he have? Cancer? Just when I was finally starting to feel like you really are my... I thought that this time, we'd finally... But now... Damn it. Why? Apollo. Listen, son. I don't have much longer to live. But I'll never let them execute me, not before I finish what I need to do. I know, Dirk. There's no way I'm going to let them prove you guilty. Before he goes, I'm going to turn back time by righting the wrongs that have been done. I'm going to restore Dirk's freedom. And return a real smile to Nayuta's face. I'm going to win this case. I just have to. Son, I have one more big secret. What? There's something else you've been hiding from me? I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Forgive me. You'll just have to find out for yourself. That's the only way. I don't understand, Dirk. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son after all. Dirk, what is he talking about? Wait, he's not going to reveal that he actually is the killer, is he? Looks like we've run out of things to discuss. Apollo, are you okay? I'm fine. What if they... Free him now! Whoa! What if Nayuta is the killer, and he knows that? Because he was so shocked by the bracelet that was found with the pink butterfly? Release Dirk! What's going on out there? Sounds like the party's getting started without me. Huh. It's coming from the temple. Let's go, Apollo, and take a look. Temple. May 18. Temple. Whoa, what is this? All this?
Ow! Let go, will ya? What are they? Huh? Well, look at that. The people are coming to take their courts back. Don't hold back, man! Arrest them all!
Dirk belongs to the people. Give him back. Yeah. Where are you holding him? Quiet down, you. They have my big sister too, but she didn't do anything wrong. Ouch, stop pulling my hair. Release my son. Release him now. Stop that. No biting. This is really something. And it looks like Dats and Mr. Inmate are leading the charge. You unlightning fools. Do you honestly think this will change anything? Yuri, why do you keep serving that witch Garan? It's... Hey, Nayuta. You again. What's going on here? It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion. But I never thought it would grow so large. However, they will all be under arrest shortly. Reinforcements are almost here. They'll be arrested just for protesting. They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. Her Eminence Queen Garan has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. This is what it's called as collective punishment. Is an entire group of people are going to be blamed, and so a lot of dictatorships do this. collective punishment where if you have a friend or family member that engages in something against the regime, is you are going to be just as guilty. And they are basically going to punish the entire crowd for protesting just for Dirk's release. But weren't you once a member of the Defiant Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I am simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. No, it can't be as simple as that. Listen, Nayuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey, you're not getting away this time. We need to talk. I see there is no reasoning with you. Very well then, speak. Dirk. Nayuta, do you really have to serve as prosecutor in Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood. It's just not right. Again, with this drivel. Your ethical standards are not the be-all end of the world around you. I'm not getting into another debate with him. Nayuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? He apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. If found guilty, he probably wouldn't even make it until his execution day. What are you talking about? Knowing this, are you still prepared to send him, an already dying man, to his grave? Well? Enough with the Zen monk act, Nayuta. Tell me how you really feel. Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill, and I must fulfill mine. Well, I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is part of your lot in life. As for why you've been at Garon's beck and call, I think I might have the answer. Amara. Nayuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere. So Dirk told you, did he? Yes, it's true. My mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom. To keep her safe from harm. Safe from harm? But Dirk said the Garon regime is holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. So you don't know where Amara is being held. I only know that it is some secluded hideaway where visitors are not allowed. I have heard she leads a simple life, akin to that of a monastic disciples. Sure sounds like she's being held captive to me. Listen, Nayuta, aren't you really doing the Queen's bidding? Because she's holding Amara captive? And this whole thing with Dirk. You know he didn't really kill Inga, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live, so I want to help him however I can. This time, it's our turn. You could have been killed. But you risked your life to save us. Why? What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Nayuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me, understand? You know, it's possible that Nayuta could be the killer. That might be what Dirk was talking about. It's our turn to help Dirk however we can. What you speak of is futile. Let it go and move on. Oh, I hate that line so much. The guilty verdict, the hopelessness. You must resign yourself to it all. Clinging to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair. So let it go and move on. Nayuta, are you really going to just roll over on this? I've no more time for idle chatter. I must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me. Apollo. I sense a whirlpool of emotions coming from within Prosecutor Sadmati just now. Anger, shock, bewilderment. And an icy sorrow as deep and dark as an abyss. Yeah, I picked up on that too. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who will need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Garon another visit, and ask her about her sister Amara. Yeah, this might not be the best idea, going to the Queen and talking to her about this. This might not be the best idea. If she arrested that entire crowd for just protesting, imagine, like, you know, talking to her about this. Grand Palace, audience chamber. The Royal Guard isn't around. That is other Utter hooey! You cannot continue to deceive the people like that. Rayfa, justice is much more than simply speaking the truth. Is that Princess Rayfa and Queen Garan over there? You deceived me too, Mother. How can I ever believe a word you say again? You. Nincompoop. What is she so angry about? Ah. Your benevolence. I couldn't help but overhear. You. Impudent. Ow. Are you okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. What's the matter with the princess? It sounds like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has something to do with this picture. Rayfa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as soon as she saw it. So then, does that mean that Princess Rayfa knows what really happened? That Amara wasn't assassinated and is still very much alive? It would seem so, and she doesn't seem to be taking Garan's lies very well. But that's no surprise, considering how much Rayfa reveres her mother. That would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness. Eavesdropping, are we? How very rude. You there. Are you not Dirk's son? Oh, nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We're actually here to speak with you, if you could spare a moment. Amara's alive. Your Eminence, Dirk told me about Amara. About how she's still alive, that is. We know not of what you speak. After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they ran off together. But she was captured, and remains, captive in a secret location to this day. As for you doing your bidding, it's only because of Amara's life in your hands. Oh, what an active imagination you have. A lawyer and a comedian, how droll. Whoa, where'd they come from? Anyway, if she's gonna play dumb, I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence. Yeah, so it seems the main antagonist in Spirit of Justice is Queen Garan. She's behind everything. Every Ace Attorney game typically has a a final main antagonist, and the main antagonist in the final Phoenix Wright game was Dahlia Hawthorne. In the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, it was Strong Arm, and this one now it's Queen Garan. But this is different because the antagonist is a dictator. Woman's photo. Your Eminence, I ask that you take a look at this photo. Why, it's a photo of Amara. And here you can see a law book bearing the mark of the Defiant Dragons. I believe you know what that means. Very well. Royal Guard, stand down. You know, I'm curious on one thing here. Is it possible that Nana is actually Amara, now that I'm thinking about it? Is that actually possible? 20 years would have passed, but would she really be that old afterwards? Is that possible? Could Nana actually be Amara? That's also what I'm thinking about. Very well, Royal Guard, stand down. Yes, Your Eminence. Your wishes are command. It seems there is no need to perpetrate this charade any longer. We shall speak of all we know. Amara's alive? So then, you admit that Amara's still alive? Yes, she is under our protection in a safe location. I think you mean being held prisoner. And where is she being kept? Oh, now why would we tell the son of a traitor like that? Guess she has a point there. Now heed our warning, Horned Devil. It would not be wise to inform the people that Amara yet lives. it would only serve to plunge public order into chaos. I have no intention of doing that. Besides, there are real terrorists out there who might try to kill her. Good. Now, there was something we have been meaning to ask you. Do you know what has become of the Founder's Orb? The Founder's Orb went missing after Dirk took it into the tomb. As his son, we thought you might know something of its current whereabouts. I knew it. I suppose I should thank you for the free running tour of Karain. That was the Royal Guard's own doing. Nice try, lady. But now you're definitely not getting the orb. Ever. Why do you want the orb so badly anyway? Because it would be most dangerous in the wrong hands. It must be recovered. Is the legend true? Can the orb really impart spiritual power? Are you worried that someone could overthrow you with it? The Holy Mother's power is without equal. Should Her Holiness once again return to our world, she could conceivably bestow great power upon the one who unlocked the orb's secret. I guess it makes sense concerning spirit channeling is a fact of life here. So he asked you, Warden Devil, did you receive the Founder's Orb from Dirk? Does it look like I did? So you like to play games, do you? Royal Guard. Yes, Your Eminence. Search this devil and his belongings. What? At once, Your Eminence. Don't move. You're only making this harder on yourself. Yikes. Hey, cut it out. Arr, what the... Eek, Apollo, don't strip here. Stop resisting. Just submit to our strip search already. No, wait. Hey, cut it out. Ah. Rest in peace is my poor tattered dignity. There's no sign of the Founder's Orb, Your Eminence. So, you have hidden it somewhere. Heh, no matter. We shall recover it one way or another once you are found guilty of abetting the accused. Dirk was right. She really is bent on getting the orb. Mother! Looks like the princess is back. I took a stroll to try to calm myself, but I still find the situation unacceptable. The people must be informed about Queen Amara. So she does know about that. Rafa, you do not yet possess a clear grasp of how a government and its people interact. There will always be secrets that must be kept from the ignorant masses. You have little faith in our people, Mother. But it is the royal priestess's duty to always speak the truth. And as such, I cannot remain silent. I will not. Ha! The truth, you say? Your mind has been poisoned by the barbed one. It was an honor and a pleasure, Your Eminence. We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline. Coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Well, Apollo, let's head back to the safe house for now. Good idea. We need to go over what we found and collect our thoughts. It might not be a good idea because they could follow them. They're gonna follow them. That's... Former Sad Maddie law offices. Ah, you're back. Thank you for holding down the fort, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sorry it took so long. Hope you weren't too bored. I watched the Plume Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, while you were gone. And my verdict is, it's an outrage, especially its theme song. Even worse, the people here believe it's an original Karenese show. Can you believe it? I've already spoken about it at length with Mr. Arabal. I'm not sure what he's babbling about, but at least it seems like he wasn't bored. Moving along to things that actually matter. Oh, by the way, the reason Edgeworth was so pissed about that is because he's a massive fan of the Steel Samurai, which the Plume Punisher is a ripoff. We've gathered about all the information and evidence we can concerning this case. I think it's time we go over everything we've learned so far. About Inga's murder. The Orb trial, Maya's abduction, and the murder of the mastermind behind it all, just Minister Inga. It's a lot to consider. Think you have all the facts straight in your head? Yep, I've got it all covered, Mr. Wright. It's the truth about what really went down. That's going to be the problem. Yeah, it's like the more we learn about this case, the less we understand. I agree. There's deep darkness enveloping this case. I'm almost afraid of what we will find once we lift that black veil. Suffice to say, the real killer is certainly waiting underneath. The real killer, huh? Now that's the million-dollar question. Who killed Inga, and why? Think, Apollo. Who would you say had a motive to commit this crime? I, for one, am drawing a complete blank. The Queen? I want to know how the killer slipped into the tomb, killed Inga, and slipped back out, without ever being seen. That's a bona fide locked room mystery right there. Well, we've collected plenty of evidence and statements. I just hope the rest comes out in court. It'll be a thinner tightrope than usual, that's for sure. This case is one big fly in the ointment. In order to prove Dirk completely innocent, we'll also have to exonerate him of the crime committed 23 years ago. Amara's supposed assassination. Right, we know Amara's still alive, but Dirk could still be charged with plotting to kill her. He couldn't discover the truth, even after 2 decades of investigating. So our biggest hurdle is going to be the complete lack of evidence. The fire made sure of that. Mr. Wright, have you ever won a case without any evidence? No, that's one thing I've never done before. Probably unprecedented, even in the decorated annals of the Write Anything Agency. Still, I can't help but wonder, was there really no evidence left behind? Oh, and we can't forget about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, if Dirk is found guilty and is sentenced to death, we'll likely join him in a very public execution. Yeah. Beat the charges or die. What kind of crazy upside-down legal system is this anyway? Don't worry, I can't ask someone as young as you to risk your life, Mina. So tomorrow it'll just be me and Apollo on the courtroom floor. But you can support us by watching from the gallery. What? No! I want to help. I'm part of the agency too, after all. Sorry, but this is a direct order from your boss. Plus, there's Prosecutor Blackwell to think of. He said he'd use me for sword practice if I put you in harm's way. Simon. Well, at least promise me this, you two. Promise me that you'll make it back alive. Ha ha ha. Make it back alive. Huh. What's with that face, Apollo? You'll never inspire confidence in your client like that. And it'll play right into the prosecution's hand. Remember, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're right. Even when it seems hopeless, or when there's not a shred of evidence to be found. We can never let it show on our faces, right? But will I actually be able to do that tomorrow? When push comes to shove, will I be able to force my biggest smile? Okay, so here we go. We got the trial coming up now. Final case in the game. We still got the DLC case after this, but this is the final case in Spirit of Justice. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. Let me know what you think. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.